while I'm here and there's no one else around, let me just show you what this is. I think 200,000 Vietnamese dong per night. I'm staying in this hostel, right? In my little bed here. And there are 6 beds in this dorm, but there's only ever about 3 or 4 people here maximum. And it sort of moves through fairly quickly. So let me give you a look at what that looks like here. So we've got all of our lockers over here on this side with a little key on your fob that gets you in the door. And I've just moved the mic completely away from my mouth so you couldn't hear any of that probably. Fuck, I'm not very good at this. What even is this tour? I'm just showing you a dorm room for no fucking reason. I swear to God, I don't know how to do this. I don't know. I don't know if I'm cut out to be a fucking vlogger at this rate, because I just feel completely spastic every time I get the camera out now. I don't know what to tell you. There's soundproofing stuff on the ceiling. There's honestly, I don't even know if I should bother trying to force this sometimes. It's all kind of just surface level observation anyway. Does it really matter? What have I actually, I spent so much time in my head today, I haven't even got anything left to string together a narrative for you. And unless my whole brand is just going to be me dribbling shit on camera, which probably is the one thing I can play to my strengths with, because God knows I do have the ability to dribble shit. Today, I was all excited. I thought, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get over the procrastination phase of posting to YouTube. I was like, all right, I'm going to just sit down. I went to this cafe. I've been to it before. Can I sit down here? I've been to it before. I went in there and there's nobody there. I got the whole place to myself. This is lovely. It's a nice sort of restaurant with an upstairs dining area. And I'm the only one there. It's just me and this fluffy cat. And I think, all right, I'm going to get the Osmo out. This is a soft launch for me using the Osmo in public. And I set it up on the table and I proceed to rant at it, holding the mic just like this, but I forgot to turn the microphone on. And the sound is shitty and tinny, and I don't want my first upload to be shitty sound. So what? And then I came out of that and I was like, I wonder if I can save it. I wonder if I can put it through an editing program, try to clean up the audio. And then I was trying to learn the editing program. I got DaVinci Resolve, right, which is meant to be it's probably way overqualified for what I'm trying to do with just some simple edits. But I start trying to use this thing. It's just menus on menus. I got no idea. The UI is not giving me anything to work with, and I just start getting frustrated. I'm like, fuck this. What am I doing? And so I've taken my little video. The sound is shitty. I don't know how to fix it. I just, too hard basket. I get frustrated. I'm just like, pack this in for the day. But I'm persisting. And then I went off and I tried a new Muay Thai gym for the first time. And I like this second one better than the first one I tried, because it's more let's actually do some Muay Thai, as opposed to here's a boxer-size fitness class that happens to be Muay Thai themed. So now I'm absolutely shattered, because I also didn't time things very well. I spent this time kicking around in cafes and pretending to be a vlogger and feeling like a fucking idiot. And then I haven't really left myself enough time to go and get a change of clothes or anything. So I happened to be in clothes that were sort of okay for the gym. It's I was pretty much ready to go for a run. But I've got this shirt that just gets absolutely soaked through with sweat. And so I've done the class and I walk out looking like I've just stepped out of a shower. But I met this English guy. I think his name was Alex. Got him on Instagram now, and he's hanging around in Hanoi for a week or so. It's just all right, cool, hit me up if you want to hang out, do anything. And I kind of like it. I just like being in a foreign place where you're constantly in new situations and you're constantly meeting new people. And you just it's cool to meet new people, but it's also cool to meet the version of you that shows up every time a new person comes into your life, because you just sort of I don't know, you just you just iterate and like soft launch new versions of yourself. Like I don't know how to describe it in a way that doesn't sound weird or manipulative, but it's like you're figuring things out about yourself, and every new person that you meet is like a blank page for you as well. And that's kind of cool. So yeah, maybe my best approach is just to face the reality of like what a terrible vlogger. Like I had an experience this week of talking to someone who has a far more significant following on social media than I do. And she was describing like, here's okay, we've gone to this place, let's maybe capture some video, but let's approach it as though she was going to do a post about it. And she starts talking through like, here's the different shots that I want to get, etc. And here's how I'd sort of set it up. And I'm just thinking like, wow, this is so much more sophisticated than what I do, which is just get a camera out and start dribbling whatever's on my mind. Maybe that's a talent in itself. I hope it is. I hope it's worth something because it's all I got. So maybe this can be my first one. Maybe this can be the video where I go like, all right, I think I know what I'm doing, and I clearly don't. But in my mind, there's all this great stuff that I could post and that I could talk about. And then when it actually goes to turning it into reality, it's like, ooh, that can't be the first video. Ooh, that can't be that audio is not right. Or I didn't script that properly. Or I need to edit it together better. Or I've got this grand vision for how I'll have this foray onto YouTube that will be a 45-minute, beautifully curated, post-processed, high production value. Here is my experience traveling Vietnam on a motorcycle for 2 weeks. But that just wasn't it. The reality was I got to Vietnam and I was just ready to have an adventure and an experience that I shared really only with myself. And so most of it isn't captured. There are moments and tidbits and I could string the story together, but I'll probably do it more so in the podcast than try to do it visually, because I just didn't want to be in that situation where I'm going through and I'm seeing everything for the first time and I'm unable to really lose myself in it because I'm constantly thinking about like, how am I going to capture this? How am I going to show it? How does this fit into the story? I kind of like the idea of having, what I really want is a camera crew to follow me around. And then afterwards we can edit this whole thing together because basically everything is captured. But when I have to live in the moment and think about how I'm going to turn it into a video, it takes away too much. So I'm trying to work this out. Like this is just a new version of me, like trying to discover the creative process out in the open, because I did a little bit obviously with TikTok and with shorts, but not YouTube shorts, but like with TikTok with like short form video. And honestly, it seemed as though I think YouTube's just a better fit for me. And, I've written songs and I've got some poems and some other like writing. I'm sort of landing on this style as like a personal essayist, which is a new thing that I found out. Only after sharing some of my writing with like Claude and then going like, right, I don't want you to write this stuff for me, but I want you to act like an editor and give me some advice as a writer. Like, how do I get better? And who has a style like this that I could read and just get some inspiration from or something like that, if I really treat writing as a hobby. And I kind of just want to put these things out there so that I can get feedback happening, because I feel like it's a far more motivating way for me to learn. If I just go off and I record video like this and then it sits on a hard drive for ever, well, what would be the point? So if there's one thing that consistently comes up when you're traveling and you're putting yourself out there, is that you really have to get used to the idea of just being a beginner again and making a fool of yourself. And it's kind of the only way that you get anywhere. And maybe creating content is just like that. There you go. That's my first tidbit of wisdom. I'm sure I'm going to watch this back and think, that was terrible lighting. You fucked that up too. let that be the benchmark, and we can just onwards and upwards from here. Hell, thanks for staying. If you if you're here now, I mean, you may as well subscribe because it's not gonna get worse, I can tell you. Oh God.